I'm about to give my shirt to Doja Cat because she's the iconic girl.
Period!
No, bitch, you deserve it. Literally, and if you ever want anything more, I got you, always. This is the girl of the year. I love you, Cat. Thank you so much.
Happy Pride Month!
Pablo.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, what's your real name? Or is it Doja? Your name?
Ami.
Ami? Ami, so nice to meet you, girl.
Nice
You're
to meet
beautiful.
you
I hope
so
you have the best
much.
night. You're literally everything in one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Period!
What's up, YouTube? Hope you're doing good. I know I've been gone for a little while. I said I was gonna drop videos every single day, but I've just been busy. I got my mom who came to visit me, and I've just been busy. But today we're gonna react to some Doja Cat. I don't know what she got going on, but let's get right into it.
Sur ma planète, yeah. Son boulet, ses titties sont balèzes, yeah. Elle aime les sacs, j'aime les mallettes, yeah. Elle veut les billes.
So recently, Doja Cat had an interesting experience with a fan, and this has spawned in so much discourse, and honestly, I just want to be the voice that says, chill. For the most part, it ain't even that deep, so let's just talk about it. Basically, a Doja Cat fan named Pablo, who actually, let me give you guys some context, because apparently, he's low-key a clouded TikToker. If you go to his page, he got 400,000 followers, and he has a clothing brand, which is very important, so remember that. Pablo had filmed a TikTok with Doja, giving her a shirt that was part of his collection, and I'm pretty sure he was actually doing something for Pride Month, but he and Doja filmed this TikTok, and let me just show y'all.
I'm about to give my shirt to Doja Cat because she's the iconic girl.
Period!
No, bitch, you deserve it. Literally, and if you ever want anything more, I got you, always. This is the girl of the year. I love you, Cat. Thank you so much.
Happy Pride Month!
Pablo.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, what's your real name? Or is it Doja? Your name?
Ami.
Ami? Ami, so nice to meet you, girl.
Nice
You're
to meet
beautiful.
you
I hope you
so
have the best
much.
night. You're literally everything in one.
Thank you.
Period!
So, my first thoughts about the video, it's a good interaction. I feel like the fact that he's gay, it kind of helped a little bit. I'm just saying. To how girls be comfortable around gay people, so it kind of eased the interaction. So I guess everyone's happy. Let's keep watching.
Ami, let me down. Don't say thank you.
You smell great.
If you see this, it literally comes across as some cute stuff. It's a cute little fan interaction at first glance. You think it's some good, positive energy, and that would be it. That should have been it, up until Doja posted this. I threw that musty ass shirt away, by the way. Bottom line is, I'll smile at you, but it doesn't mean I fuck with you. And don't touch me and manhandle me when you don't even fucking know me. If you know, you know. I honestly think I need to stand up for myself in the moment sometimes, and he didn't even know my fucking name to be touching me and kissing me on my face. Like, that is crazy. When I seen this,
I know Doja Cat. I know Doja Cat crazy. She a crazy archetype. Like she crazy. We all know that. I'm not a marketing genius, but I know when you're trying to gift something to a celebrity to promote your brand or whatever, it has to be packaged. It has to be better looking, it has to be nice little box or something. And that was not the case. He literally undressed himself and gave it to Doja Cat. I thought it was cool like that. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. But apparently they wasn't. I feel like he could package the the shirt better, or he didn't know he was going to meet her, so he just didn't. He just had to do what he had to do, and I understand that. It's an interesting situation right here, but let's keep watching.
I was low-key like, I understand he was all in your personal space and you're allowed to feel that way. He's tripping. But then I seen his response to it because he did respond, and then the perspective flooded into me. I'll show you guys, but first I want to talk about Doja's comments because they're important. I want to start by validating her feelings. Being a Tyler fan and indulging in media that speaks on the celebrity experience of paranoia and feeling like people don't respect their boundaries, I completely empathize with her. She's allowed to feel uncomfortable and feel like what the fan was doing was too much, especially when the nigga don't even know her. That interaction was spawned in from a parasocial relationship, which I will be touching on later. However,
In the video, like in the first video, you kind of feel like everything was good. I don't know why she tripping, but I understand at the end of the day he was doing too much. He was doing too much. Like that's I was like, okay. I was watching the video. I was like, can you back up a little bit, bro? Like I was telling myself that in my brain. I think also the fact that there was no bodyguards, it kind of opened the way for the interaction because normally she a celebrity. She usually have bodyguards, gonna be like, hey, back up, and she was not gonna have to deal with this, with this situation. I feel like she, as a celebrity, she had to maintain composure. In front of fans, you don't need to just, I don't want to talk to you. No, you a celebrity. You popular because of your fans. So you have to interact with your fans. So I understand that part. She, she opened the way for him to, talk and interact and everything. And like I said, the fact that he's a little fruity, it helped. But apparently it didn't.
I think Doja's approach to the situation was nasty. Do I think he manhandled her per se? No. Do I think he was pushy? Absolutely. But I think that words have connotation, good and bad, and to say he manhandled her is so strong, to me it just came across as a really pushy fan excited to see someone he clearly idolizes. If Doja likes your shirt, you give it to her? Nigga, that's dick eating 101. I don't think he was trying to invade her personal space per se. I just think he couldn't contain that parasocial energy. Not saying that's right, but let's look at things objectively. On top of that, saying that she quote unquote threw that musty ass shirt away, that was a little rude. He gave it to Doja not to be weird, but because he genuinely supports her. So for Doja, I'd say her feelings are valid, but the way she went about the situation could have been better.
Like I said earlier, we all know Doja Cat is crazy. She crazy. Like she crazy for real, for real. We know she crazy. She knows she crazy. So at the end of the day, we need to understand that these celebrities, they are people. Like before being celebrities, they people. They have their characters. They have their own ways of doing stuff. So, you know, Doja Cat is known to be Doja Cat is known to be a little, eh, you know, so she's gonna handle stuff the way she wanna handle it. Being in public, she had to, maintain composure and interact with the fans. But I feel like when she went home, she was like, you know what, I didn't even give a fuck about none of that. I can finally be myself. I can take my phone. I can tweet about the shirt. I didn't like it. She, as a normal human being, as a normal person, she she did what she did. She tweeted what she tweeted. So I feel like it was the celebrity and the person, the real person. So it was like the celebrity on the first video, and then the tweets was from the person. That's how I feel about it. Let's keep watching.
Alternatively, she could have said, she appreciates the support, but that type of behavior made her uncomfortable. She acknowledges that she needs to stand up for herself too, so she recognizes that it could have went differently. But I also understand that expressing these feelings is difficult, and I know that in the moment she probably couldn't, so I'll give her grace for that. However, I've been tapped into the space for a while. This response from Doja Cat is pretty in line with what I've seen. That girl hates her fans. I'ma just keep it real. And this being about her boundaries aside, I think it says a lot about Doja Cat purely because she has a negative track record of controversy and just being nasty to the people who support her. And I'm also pretty sure she got mad at her fans for calling themselves kittens, which is something she coined for her fan base, but don't quote me on that. I don't really keep up with her because she rubs me wrong. Now let's talk about Pablo's response, because obviously if a super big celebrity says something about you, you're gonna know.
Hi guys, I was just at a party and I got informed that Doja said some shit about me on Twitter. I just want to clear this up because it hurts, because I loved her. I watched her at Coachella. I've never claimed to be the biggest fan, but I really stand her and I think what her work is amazing. I just think it's crazy because she's the one at this event that was being so nice, and she pointed out my shirt, and I said, and I like that. And when I went outside and she was outside, I was like, girl, you'd be the perfect girl for my Pride collection. And she said, what do you mean, what Pride collection? I said, oh, I released this t-shirt, blah, 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 I'd love to give you one. She said, I'd want one right now. And I said, oh, I could give this one to you. She said, no way, you're not gonna give this to me. And that's when the video started.
Okay, so like I thought, he was just chatting it up. She agreed with the TikTok, and he was just trying to show support for an artist he likes. I also want to point out how serious he sounds and hurt, but I call that disillusionment. This is akin to the wool being ripped off his face. The reality of the situation is that someone he looked up to does not match his perception.
We know Doja Cat as the celebrity. We fans, we love her, we love her music and stuff. But the person is a totally different person. So he met the celebrity, and then the person tweeted. So we understand he's a gay person. We understand that. But at the same time, people need to have some type of awareness. Like, even if you love a celebrity, you're not gonna do too much as he did because she is a celebrity. She has to keep that composure. But he did too much, and pointing the fact that he's gay. Like you don't. It's not because you're gay that you have to do too much. Like
desire to interact with her in unsavory ways, and I think that's a valid defense. It was never about his desires because, bro, the nigga likes men, and it was entirely a stand moment. That's why he was saying things like, oh, I say she's the sweetest celebrity. That clip exposes the parasocial relationship between him and Doja Cat, and this is why I feel for Doja. He was comfortable enough with being so touchy because of his parasocial relationship, listening to her music, standing her. Those things have blurred the lines between an actual relationship and admiring someone's work. That's why he's reacting this way. It's now a cautionary tale on parasocial relationships. I mean, we hear the phrase never meet your idols because you might regret what you learn. And I think when you hear this TikTok, you can tell bro had no real bad intent. Intent versus impact is a concept I frequently grapple with in my life. I think intent and impact are equally important. The impact can at times trump intent, but when you look at forgiveness, the intent is always at the front of that because his intent was pure, or at least I think it is. And it was pure despite having that negative impact. That's why I think it's really not that big of a deal and could have been solved in a better way.
And I understand she has to set her boundaries. She's a celebrity. I'm not. I will never understand that. So I value that and I appreciate and I get that. But for me, guys, I'm a normal ass person that's at a bar, meets Doja Cat. I just released my clothing drop for Pride, and I just offered to give her one, and she said, oh, I want one right now. So I had the size. I was like, here, take it. I apologize if I did anything wrong at all.
And this makes it kind of funny. This nigga went to a bar and met his idol and he was geeking. And once again, everything Doja is feeling is valid, especially because she's a woman, especially because he's a man, and you never want a lady to feel like that. But I think it's important to acknowledge that the nigga was just a little giddy. If I met Tyler the Creator, I might be just as giddy. Now granted, I'm not parasocial and I'm not trying to be the product of another colossus, but I think we can similarly empathize with the feeling of admiration for our idols.
And honestly, this just shows me, I guess, that maybe not everybody's who they show in person. I would have never said anything other than she's the sweetest girl ever, but I guess she went on a whole tweet rant about me. I never claimed to have it all laid out, to know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just at a bar, released a clothing drop. Doja was being very sweet to me. And also, guys, I know I didn't know her first name. I'm so sorry. I never claimed to be the biggest fan ever. I just respect her a lot for her work. I've listened to her music so many times. I met her 4.5 years ago at the VMAs, and I was like gagged. And I thought 4.5 years later, the world worked for me. Like, the stars lined in my favor. But
once again, just super disillusioned. Like, dog, you don't know Doja, twin. But I do understand respecting the work on a deep level and connecting with it. That's the thing though. You never connected with Doja, you connected with some songs. And oh yeah, I forgot to say, Doja was upset that he didn't know her name. But bro, like, niggas at a bar drinking off the Casamigos, I don't even think it was really that deep. But that's his TikTok response. And I feel both sides for real. He was a giddy fan, a little too giddy, but Doja is also valid because those are her boundaries. Now, let me say this real quick. I do still not really like Doja. She's rude, and I know niggas gonna be on me in the comments about how I'm criticizing Doja, but if it was Doechii, I wouldn't even have said anything. I wouldn't have said that this reaction is indicative of her character or it's in line with how she acts. I would say, okay, she had a moment. But with Doja, she been wishy-washy on me for some time. Do your research. She a little weird. Not saying her reaction and feelings aren't valid, but knowing she's disrespected her fans prior to this.
like I said earlier, we all know Doja Cat is crazy. She crazy. Like she as a person, she crazy. So she did what she would do. Eh, she felt the way she felt. She had the right to feel the way she felt. He was just caught up in his emotions. He didn't think about handling the situation better, and it led to that. So, you know,
Disrespected her fans prior to this, it's like, okay, that is Doja Cat. But anyways, on the brand website, Pablo dropped a musty ass shirt design. So good on him for taking advantage of this publicity. If your idol is gonna fry you, you might as well get compensated for it. Am I right? He also threw away some old Doja merch, so you know he was tapped in, but he's definitely hurting. In general though, I don't think this was really that big of a deal. Two misunderstandings, Doja and Pablo. I think we should all remember intent and impact, especially when choosing forgiveness. Idol is gonna fry you, you might as well get compensated for it. Am I right? He also threw away some old Doja
a disappointment is a blessing in disguise. So he got a little cloud from the situation, and he dropped another shirt. A win is a win. A win is a win.
the merch, so you know he was tapped in, but he's definitely hurting. In general though, I don't think this was really that big of a deal. Two misunderstandings, Doja and Pablo. I think we should all remember intent and impact, especially when choosing forgiveness. The situation wasn't black or white, it was just shades of gray. Pablo's intent wasn't negative, despite the people trying to analyze the video. Looking at this Twitter girl breaking down Doja's body language, you're just a Twitter detective. You're not an actual body language specialist. And also, niggas made this TikTok.
Look at this. When you look at this edit, it's like he was doing too much. Uh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And this is just so sensationalized. You got this eerie conspiracy music, you're corny. But anyways, that's all I had to say. Outside of Doja being her usual route, so she's allowed to be uncomfortable and have boundaries. That is completely valid and no one should ever take that away from her. Pablo, stop being a parasocial nigga. You're good, but be cognizant about your actions and how they can affect people, especially your idols, because that was weird on your part to not think about it and have that consideration. Subscribe for more unsolicited opinions. Join my membership. Join my Discord. I want that shit to be active. I'm out though. Y'all be easy. Bye-bye.
At the end of the day, he just needs to do better. He was geeking and he just started doing too much. And she is crazy. So he just clashed. But I'm glad he, capitalized on the clouds, I guess. And he made another shirt. He did what he did, but just let me know how you feel about the situation. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Let's get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year. Peace out.